So, it's been a while since I last made a video, and I decided that I'll shake my leg at it once again. I feel bad for anyone watching any of my videos because they're semi-pointless, and my awkwardness just fucking oozes out of your screens, so I don't even know why I bother, but I think it's fun. And I think that's really all that matters, is if you think it's fun. But, okay. So, this video, I was going to write something about it on my blog, but, words kept on escaping me. Well, typed words. I hate typing. I hate talking too, but I hate talking a little bit less than typing. So I decided to do another video about it. Stumbled through it, stumbled through talking, but this is about one of my most life-changing moments, when I started to lose faith in humanity as a whole. It's also one of the biggest encounters with homophobia that I've personally experienced, and I feel bad for my ex who was also involved in the situation. But this happened a good 3-4 years ago, back when my ex and I were on a date. I think we were probably dating for over a year at that point, so maybe a year and a half, maybe our 2-year mark at that point. And back then, none of us drove, so we had to rely on public transportation to get us to and from places. So we decided to go to one of the biggest malls here where I live. We took the bus there. We go shopping, as stereotypical as that sounds, for a bunch of fruits. And we go shopping. We take each other out for a dinner date. It was nice and sweet, laughing, flirting, holding. We were holding each other's hands out in public. We were all into that. And so at the end of the date, we're waiting outside the bus stop. It's a big bus stop right outside the mall. There's about 6 or 7 other people at the bus stop with us. And Sam and I are just sitting there minding our own fucking beeswax, and we were holding hands, as normal couples tend to do. And this one guy just walks by us, and he just stops and looks back at us, and asks this seemingly innocent question, "You two gay?" And me being the socially awkward smartass that I am, to look up at him like, "Yeah, what's it to you?" And as he said in a very demeaning manner. And then suddenly, Mr. Redneck, son of a bitch, starts spouting off. Not just spouting off, he, within 20 seconds, was yelling and flailing his arms around, saying on how we're unnatural, we're a sin, we all deserve to die, we all deserve to be punished, the entire mumbo jumbo. But during the middle of his rant, which lasted a good 5-6 minutes, a pretty long one for a complete stranger. I can't even hold a conversation like that, so I commend him for that. And he starts making personal insults towards Sam and I, and threats. He eventually threatened that he was going to come back with a baseball bat and beat our heads in, because he had a baseball bat out in his car, which was conveniently located in the mall parking lot. And so the entire time he was screaming at us and yelling at us. My ex, well, not ex at the time, was sitting right next to me, and he started crying because he was fucking afraid. Honestly, I was too. And he's sobbing later on. Sam just starts sobbing because he's so terrified. And I'm stoic. When I get mad, I get very stoic. I don't show emotion. And I'm just staring at the guy. And then he finally leaves to go get his baseball bat. And the entire time, that guy was yelling and screaming and threatening us. No one at the bus stop decides to get up and do something about it. No one bothers to step in. No one bothers to help shut him up. And no one even goes and gets mall security, because this guy was making blatant threats at somebody to kill them, to beat their faggot faces in. And so my ex wanted to get up and leave. I'm like, no, we are going to stand our ground. This guy is stupid, but hopefully he's not stupid enough to try to beat our faces in. And I have a black belt in Taekwondo, so I know I could probably hold my own. Maybe not against a baseball bat, but I could make it. I believe I could make it. He was kind of skinny, and not one with big buff rednecks. And so eventually, Sam, I'm holding Sam, trying to comfort him the entire time. No one at this bus stop decides to do anything. No one moves. No one will make eye contact with us. And then this son of a schmuck comes back without a baseball bat and starts his entire rant again, this time inches from my face. He eventually grows tired of not getting a reaction out of me, and he goes off in his merry little way. And finally, a couple minutes later, the bus comes. My ex still sobbing. I pick him up. It's okay, baby. And we were going to go on the bus, and we were one of the last people in line. When suddenly, someone taps us on the shoulder. This person comes up to us. First, this young woman, gives my ex a hug and starts wiping away his tears. And then she comes up and hugs me. And then this young woman starts saying how we shouldn't listen to what that man was saying because it was mean and hateful, and people will love us no matter what, and that we are bigger and better than him. This woman had Down syndrome. A person with Down syndrome provided that comfort, those words of comfort, those words of encouragement, and stood up against bullying. I don't think she was there during the entire time, but I know she heard it. Well, almost everyone heard it. It was fucking loud. And even on the bus ride home, no one would talk to us. No one would make eye contact with us. No one came up to us after the fact. People are fucking stupid. From that point on, I've had a very bleak outlook on humanity. And frankly, I've lost all respect for people who can't stand up against people being bullied. It's not even to the point where I don't have respect for them. I pity them. I absolutely fucking pity them. There's no excuse to do something like that. And to stand there and watch two people get tormented and tortured in public for this? I'm sorry. Fucking cowards. So, that's one of my many run-ins with homophobia, but I mean, I've gotten assaulted for it, got beaten up for it, but those are different stories for different days. But homophobia sucks. If you don't stand up against it, you're a fucking horrible excuse for a human being. Absolutely fucking horrible. And there's no excuse why you should not stand up against somebody like that. No excuse. So, that's a little bit on the inside of me and my life, and yeah, and now comes the awkward ending where I don't really know how to properly finish or conclude a video or even a conversation. So, I wish you all a good night, and hopefully there will be a next time when my awkward face and demeanor make a presence on your computer screen.